Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Coach Matt, EliteThrowsCoaching.com, and in today's video, we are going to be answering a question from somebody from YouTube. They left a comment under one of our old videos from about 7 years ago that was talking about sets and reps with hypertrophy, strength, speed, explosiveness, endurance. We talked about that a long time ago, but they had a great question. Guy by the name of, or username of Anti1 Training on YouTube. He was wondering if it's possible to increase his strength like a power lifter, so your overall 1 rep maximum, your overall max strength. If it's possible to increase size like a bodybuilder, so more hypertrophy type training, and if it's possible to increase endurance. Now, I don't know if this is the right word he was looking for. To increase endurance like a track and field or a calisthenic athlete. And I think what he means by a calisthenic athlete is like a CrossFit-y, gymnast-y, ninja warrior-y type training, where essentially you need to have strength, you want to look good, you need to lose body fat and get lightweight, but you also need to have the endurance to do multiple events over and over and over again. Is it possible to train like this? We're going to talk about that right now. All right, guys, so the landlord came in and installed a bunch of brand new lights to brighten up the gym a little bit, which was very nice of him. He didn't have to do that, but he did, and I appreciate it. Problem is, I don't really know how this is going to look on camera. I keep turning lights off and putting lights on, so if you notice there's a bunch of lighting differences, or maybe I'm going like, bright to dark or whatever, just try to ignore it throughout the video. We're going to get this nailed hopefully pretty soon. Okay, so I'm going to try to answer this the best way that I can, which is by saying, kind of. If you are on a strength training program, it's going to focus 100% on strength. If you are using a hypertrophy-based program, that program is going to be based more on building size. And if you were increasing your endurance, or I think what he meant to say was almost like your strength endurance, you're going to be doing more higher repetition, timing your rest periods, doing more event-specific things for what you are going to be working on. Putting these three together in a program, while not impossible, is not going to give you the best results. You're still going to be able to get really strong, you're still going to be able to get bigger, and you're still going to be able to increase your strength endurance, but it's not going to be a perfect program for all three. So to give you an idea, this is kind of how I train. I want to get stronger, but I don't want to get stronger at the risk of injuring myself or pushing to the point where I get hurt and I'm not able to coach or to run the gym on a daily basis. I want to increase my size, decrease my body fat. That is a goal of mine as I reach 40 years old, believe it or not, next year. And increase my endurance, or strength endurance. That's just sort of how I increase my overall health and make sure I'm not turning into like a fat lard, and make sure that I'm going to live a really long time to be able to enjoy my children and my grandchildren and live till I'm 130 years old. That's kind of how my training is right now, and I think that's kind of what this guy is looking to do as well, just maybe in a little different way. All right, so here's how I would plan on doing it. The first thing you're going to look at is how many days per week are you going to train? Well, if you're looking to increase your strength endurance, if you're looking to increase size, and you're looking to increase strength, you want to be in the gym more often than not. Doing something like a 2-day per week or a 3-day per week program is probably not going to work for you. But if you're watching a track and field channel and you're asking about sort of a track and field athlete body type or endurance type, you're probably a track athlete. So I'm going to give you kind of the benefit of the doubt, and I'm going to say you're going to do a 4-day per week program. So that 4-day per week program, that's going to allow you to, again, do more exercises to get yourself in shape, to increase your strength endurance. It's going to give you the ability to hit multiple muscle groups once or twice per week. And then it's also going to give you the ability to either do 4 main movements throughout the week, like squat, bench, deadlift, and overhead press. Or if you wanted to combine those two, maybe have 2 squat days and 2 bench days, or 2 squat days, a bench day, and an overhead press day. Whatever you need to work on the most, you can do that over a 4-day period. Okay, so as a current and former competitive powerlifter, I guess I'm not done doing meets yet, but I don't have one coming up anytime soon. When I think about strength, it automatically goes to squat, bench, and deadlift, because those are the 3 exercises that you do in a powerlifting meet. But when we are talking about just general overall strength, you need to kind of mix things up a little bit, I think. So if you're looking to increase your endurance, if you're looking to increase size, looking to increase your strength, squat, bench, some type of deadlift. Okay, it doesn't have to be a competition deadlift. It can be a hex deadlift, like with a hex bar or a trap bar, sometimes they're called. And then some type of overhead press. So maybe it's a strict military press, maybe it's a push press, maybe it's a push jerk, some type of overhead press. I would divide these 4 days per week into these 4 exercises. And now your main movement each day is going to be so you can get stronger. Now, there are programs out there to help with your strength on this main movement. So there is something like the conjugate method, where you are doing a max effort day for your squat, a max effort day for your bench. You can certainly switch up. So week 2, you can do deadlift and overhead press instead of squat and bench. There are, just basic programs out there like 5-3-1, a basic 5x5 system. There are a lot of different options out there that are going to teach you how to increase and get stronger with your squat, bench, deadlift, and overhead press, whatever variations of these movements you want to do. But that's the first thing. 4 days, 4 exercises, 1 main movement per day. And then the goal of that main movement is to increase strength, to use heavier weight, to push heavier weight, squat heavier weight, deadlift heavier weight, every single week in an organized way, in an organized program, to see increases in those 4 main compound movements. Now, I'm not going to go into that today. That is a different video for a different day. That can take hours to go over. That is something that we are going to be going over in our coaches clinic, which is happening here at the end of November. You can click the link right above to find out more about that. But this is something that takes a while. We're not going to cover that right now. We're just kind of going over the basics. Okay, now that we've covered strength with those 4 main movements, now let's talk about increasing your size. There are 2 things that you need to do to increase your size, and that is to eat more calories, take in more calories throughout the day. These calories should be coming from decent sources. So again, getting all of your calories from McDonald's or Burger King. Are you taking in more calories? Yes. Should you be getting it from different sources? Yes. But try to eat more. Take in more calories. Okay, that's also going to help increase strength. As you get bigger, as you get heavier, you're going to be able to move more weight and get stronger. Now, where we are going to increase size is going to be with your accessory movements. So after each main movement every day, you are going to have accessory movements. Movements that are going to help to, number 1, improve those 4 main movements. Number 2, they're going to address whatever weaknesses you might have or injuries that you might have to try to build up the weak points around these main movements. But number 3, they're going to be in that 8 to 15 or 8 to 20, 10 to 20, it really varies, repetition number, which is more of a hypertrophy based number. It's not going to be super heavy to work on your strength. It's not going to be super light to do a ton of endurance work, like things like if you can do 50 push-ups in a row. We're not going to do multiple sets of 50 push-ups, but it's going to be in that 8 to 15 repetition range. So, for example, squat, great common exercise as an accessory to a squat is a lunge. So, after you squat, 4 to 5 sets of, say, 12 to 15 repetitions per leg. Your legs are going to be screaming at you, but you can use a decent enough weight to stimulate hypertrophy. Bench, what about inclines? Okay, incline dumbbell or incline bench with a straight bar and a Smith machine, whatever you want to do. Great weight. Again, same thing, 4 to 5 sets of 8 to 15 repetitions. Deadlifts, you've got some type of RDL or some type of row. Fantastic accessory movement to a deadlift. Again, 4 to 5 sets of 8 to 15 repetitions. Overhead press, you've got a lot of different rear deltoid, like face pull type movements. You've got a lot of lateral side delt type movements. You've also have a lot of tricep movements that you can do on that day. And you want to pick about 3 or 4 accessory exercises for each day. So squat might be a lunge, it might be a glute ham raise, it might be a 45-degree back extension, a pull-up, a pull-down, some type of a hamstring curl, leg extension, some type of dumbbell squat, kettlebell squat, to, again, in that 4 to 5 sets of 8 to 15 repetitions. That's going to really damage the muscle. You're going to be eating more to rebuild that muscle. You are going to increase your size while also helping to increase your strength. Bench press, you have incline press, you have decline press, you have tricep movements, shoulder movements, rear delt movements. You have a lot of movements that you can do for your bench, as well as different bars, different tempos, pauses, everything that you can do to mix this up. Again, 4 to 5 sets, 8 to 15 reps. You've got your RDLs for your deadlifts, you've got your rows, you've got your lower back movements, you've got your reverse hypers, you've got your 45-degree back extensions, you've got your bent over rows, you've got your landmine rows, you've got your body weight rows, your TRX rows, your recline rows, all the stuff to help build up your back and build up your hamstrings as well on that day. So again, we're dealing with 4 to 5 sets of 8 to 15 repetitions to damage the muscle, but you're eating more, so you're going to build up more muscle. And then, of course, on overhead press, very similar to what you would do on bench, a lot of tricep exercises. Throw in your bicep work on that day as well. If you want to get your arms bigger, again, hypertrophy, increased size, that's probably a goal. But also you have your lateral raises, your rear delt work, you've got drop sets, you've got dumbbell work, you've got machines. You got a ton of stuff that you can do on these days that are going to help the main movement, but also, again, if we're staying in that 4 to 5 sets of 8 to 15 repetitions, damage the muscle quite a bit to build size, and because we are eating more, we are going to be getting bigger and building more muscle and putting on more mass. Okay, so I hear you loud and clear. I know exactly what you're going to say. You're going to say, Matt, this does not sound anything like endurance or strength endurance. And no, it doesn't. We're getting stronger. We're building strength. We are increasing our size. We are increasing hypertrophy. We are doing 4 to 5 sets of 8 to 15 repetitions. We're eating more. We're putting on size. We're putting on muscle. What does this have to do with increasing our strength endurance? What the heck are you doing, dude? That's not how you do it. Well, here's how you can somehow increase your endurance. And again, this is what I do just to keep in shape and live longer. How do you increase your endurance or your strength endurance with a program like this? The answer, as you can already read, is that you time your rest periods. Okay, so timing your rest periods not only increases the speed of your workout and gets you out of the gym in a normal time. You're not going to be there for like 2.5, 3 hours. You get out of there in like 90 minutes, and that's with a warm-up. But if you time your rest, what's going to happen? Your heart rate's going to increase because you're not taking 4 or 5 minutes in between each set. If you stay somewhere between 30 seconds to 1 minute, for me right now, 45 seconds is my sweet spot. 30 seconds, I'm dying, I'm exhausted, I can't finish the workout. 1 minute, I'm fully recovered, and I'm kind of getting bored. So 45 seconds, boom, we're good. So what does that look like? Let's take squats. Say squats, we had lunges, and then say we had some type of sled drag, and then somehow we had like a hamstring curl and a leg extend. I don't know, I'm just kind of making this up as we go. So squat. All right, we're building up. Say we're doing a 5 by 5. And we're building up to a heavy set of 5. We're going to do that for 5 sets of 5 repetitions with 1 minute rest in between. Big compound movement, you need some rest. I might even go 1:30 just so I can hit all of my repetitions. No problem. Take 1:30 rest after your main movement, and in between all of your sets, you're going to go to some walking lunges holding some dumbbells, okay? This is where I would do all of my sets together. So say it's 4 sets of 12 per leg. I'm going to take 45 seconds rest in between each set. I'll immediately go to my sled. I'll do 4 sets of, say, 2 laps of the gym, down and back, with 45 seconds rest in between, okay? Leg curl, leg extension, we'll do 4 sets of 12 leg curls with 30 to 45 seconds rest in between. We'll do 4 sets of 12 leg extensions, again with 30 to 45 seconds rest in between. So what that does is that increases my tempo. I am moving, I'm out of breath, I am sweating, I am panting, I am hurting doing this workout. That's how I'm going to increase my endurance. Now this also helps to, of course, burn calories. Not exactly what we want to do if we want to put on some size, but again, it's not a perfect program. You're trying to kind of smush 3 different modalities, 3 different goals into one program. It's not going to be perfect, but you're going to get a little bit stronger over time, a lot stronger. You're going to get a little bit bigger over time, a lot bigger, and you're going to get a little bit more endurance, more strength endurance, but over time, a lot more strength endurance. So this is not something I would do sort of as a quick thing. I'm not going to say, I got 3 months to get bigger. I'm not going to do this program. I've got 3 months to get stronger. I'm not going to do this program. I've got 3 months to increase my endurance. I'm not going to do this program. But I got 2 to 3 years to get stronger, increase size, and increase my endurance. This is a good way of doing it. So just some options for you. It was a great question that came in. Hopefully this gives you guys all some ideas. Popping up on the screen right now or at the end of this video, we are going to be putting a lot of stuff up there to help you guys out. The video that this question came from 7 years ago, that's going to be up there. A link to our coaching clinic is going to be up there. The subscribe button, which you need to click, I'm going to put right down there. The subscribe button, you need to click that and click that notification bell. And also, we've got a big announcement, a really, really, really big announcement coming up about our camps, plural, overnight camps for this upcoming summer of 2020. There's going to be more than one. There's going to be more than 2. You're going to have to wait to find out. So click all this stuff that's popping up, subscribe, visit the website, subscribe to our newsletter so you get the first shot at signing up for the camps that sell out every year. Thank you so much for watching. Click all this junk that just popped up, subscribe, and I will talk to you next week. Oh, and Anti-1 training, great question.